Hello everybody and welcome back to York City FM2020 with me, T-Davy1. Today we are back just before January because I have a question for you guys, because I've been rattling my brain of what to do with this team going into January, because we have the chance to go up again. Back-to-back promotions is on, and I don't know what to do with the squad like we discussed last episode. A couple of positions do need reinforcing, but I've gone and done something that has made us have a large transfer budget. So if we go to transfers and have a little look, as you can see, we have currently 29,000 in wages. If we bring that back to a normal number, that's say 12k, which is normally 2 to 3, which is about 3 good players in this division for us, we have 1.9 million. That's around 2 million. That was because we had a transfer clause on a player called Ben Godfrey. He is a Norwich player, and we sold that transfer clause for around 2 million. We have then told the club to invest some of that money into other little bits in and around the club. So we are starting expansion on the stadium yet again. We've upgraded some facilities. We've done lots and lots of coaching courses for a lot of different things as well, for different coaches. So yeah, going into January with about 2 million in the bank, top of League 2, and I'm just wondering if this is the moment to spend big and try and big in a couple of big real bits of quality. One, to secure promotion and to make sure that we don't fall off the pace and go up. Secondly, to then have the players in place ready to have a serious push in League 1 so we don't get relegated straight away. So if we do get back-to-back promotions, we don't want to then get relegated and come down, and that would be a step backwards. Instead, what we'd rather do is have a year of 16th, 17th in League 1. That'll do. That would be very happy. So yeah, little quick questions before we start into you guys is, what would you do with the 2 million that I have a budget? Should I stick or twist? Stick is stay with the players I've got, add 3 or 4 players in the summer like I normally do, if that. Or should we twist? Should we try and bring in some crazy players? Should we try and spend a little bit above our means? And should we try and go for a couple of superstar players for this division who will really put us over the top and really put us in a position to grow? If we do invest heavily, I would like to buy some nice young quality players who are very good, but they are very, very hard to get hold of and very, very expensive. So that is the challenge that we have. Let's have a little catch up from last episode so we can get up to where we are today. We, last episode, played against Exeter in the 4-0 victory, which was the 200th game of my career. Since then, we have played Colchester 2-1 victory at home. Keithley Mooley and Carl McFarlane with the goals. They scored first, and it was a bit of a poor start, but both of the strikers turned up to get a goal in the first half, and that was a deciding factor for us. Keep an eye on Keithley Mooley and McFarlane. They're going to keep popping up all the way throughout this. Another game, another 2-0 win at home, this time to Cheltenham Town, and Keithley Mooney and Carl McFarlane with both of the goals. Yet again, very good from them two up top. They've been excellent when it comes to form, and they really have been driving us forward. Blackpool in the Leasing Cup Trophy North second round. We beat them 2-1 through 2 defenders scoring our goals. We go 1-0 down early on. It was a tricky tie for us. Blackpool are a bigger side than us, but Nathan Dyer and Charlie Oliver drags us through, and we pick up the victory in that one. So we are into the third round where we're playing Manchester City's under-23s, a side that we played against I think earlier on in our career at some point. I think we played Manchester City's under-23s at some other point. Not 100% sure what competition that was. I may be incorrect. I might be thinking of a different FM. Aldershot Town was another 1-0 victory. Carl McFarlane with the only goal in that game. Nothing really to report on that game. The Bradford City game, though, was a mess of a game. 0-0, yellow cards galore. I would like to view the match, to look at the match report, because I would like to have a look at what was the ref rating. Where can I find the referee's rating? Because I'm really curious on this one. Well, I've had a look about. I can't find the referee's rating. Somewhere, I'm sure it pops up. I have not find it for at all. We did get disciplined for this, though, for 7 yellow cards, including that red card for Estrada, meaning we lose 1-0 to a sucker punch in the final minute of the game as well. We have played really well throughout. We lost Lewis Baines early on through an injury as well, which is not ideal. But hopefully this isn't the start of a bit of form. Estrada being out and Lewis Baines being out does put a couple of holes in our squad, but I'm sure we can deal with them without too many issues. A few little transfer things to look at. Transfer history-wise, we have loaned out Charlie Poole, a guy we got in on a free, as well as Newest Knott, as well as Joshua King, Danny Jenkins, and Harry Spratt have all gone out on loan. Harry Spratt is listed to be sold. He was very good for us on our first season. He played a lot of games in our first season. He even had a man of the match like performance. I think even in a cup final or a cup semi-final. But ever since then, we've outgrown him as a player. We've outgrown him rapidly. And he is, every time he's played so far, he's made howling mistakes. He's had one good game and then he's had other really, really poor games. So we're going to let him go at the end of the season. Meaning we do need some more defenders. Because we don't have too many of them, but it should be alright. Let's get to the match preview, where we'll be taking on a very, very strong, in-form Port Vale side who are 4th in the table. Obviously, that defeat to Bradford City was a sucker punch because they are 3rd in the table. So, if we lose this one, this could really tighten up the top 4. If we win this one, though, we're going to put a serious gap between us and 4th in the division. And we could start running away with it and securing an automatic playoff spot, and then it'll be all about winning the league if we can do that. So, Jack Young is going to have to play because we do not have anyone else who can play CDM that competently. I could play Maloney there. Let's play Taylor Maloney over Jack Young. Maloney's got slightly better passing. I'll be happier to do that. Adam Marich will come in for Ben on that right-hand side centre mid role. Marich has been in good form as well recently, which is always nice to see. And David Ferguson is going to be on the bench. I want to give Kingston a start. Yeah, we'll give Kingston a start despite Ferguson being the more in form of the players. Trying to rotate the squad ever so slightly. And Jacob OJ is being watched by Millwall now. He has got a release clause of nearly 500k. He's a good goalkeeper. I do like him. He's only 19 years old as well, so he has lots of potential to be a very good goalkeeper for us. Could even grow into, slightly higher division, so could be a League One goalkeeper for us in the future. But if they come and lump some money at me, we may go and spend big on a goalkeeper. That might be a position we try and shore up for the foreseeable future. We shall find out. Let's jump into this match in the first game of a double header this episode. Probably going to be a little bit of a longer one because I've preambled quite a bit about a few other little things. We owe Port Vale one because we were awful against them last time. Be interesting to see if Nelson Aho is playing. I have just realised that I'm playing Ryan Fazza over McFarlane. That is a mistake. I didn't mean to. We are playing on a semi-snowy pitch as well, with the blue lines of the green ball as I take a sip of coffee. Well, first highlight is only 30 seconds in. Come on, boys. A nice early goal to set the tone of this game. Here is Moody down his right-hand side. He can get the ball if he tries. It's blocked. Hill keeps it in. Does well to battle on the byline and gets to the byline to get it across in, but it's blocked as well. Port Vale from that obviously clear. And early on sides at Port Vale and us are very, very tight and very even. Top of the table in this division is very, very tight indeed. So it's going to be a bit of a hair raiser when it comes to if we get into a dog-eat-dog fight with other divisions, other teams in this division. We could easily slip to about 8th, I think, because we're not that outrageously better than anyone else. We are just performing very well and doing what we need to do well, which is defensive performances. 1-0 wins, 2-0 wins, 2-1 wins are our forte. Here's Gibbons with a chance for Port Vale off the outside of the post. Jacob Ojo was very confident of where his post was and watched it clip the outside of the post and go wide. Give him a little demand more shout as nothing exactly is happening. Both teams are very focused for this one. And it's even Stevens on the stats as well. That would suggest it is a very tight game between both of us. with neither of the sides having too much of an edge. That's a long ball towards Moody though. Port Vale dropped into a very good low block with a good 5 players back there. Nelson Aho is the only man up top. Kingston with a right-footed cross. And Solberg will catch that one, no problem. Yeah, when Port Vale lose the ball, they drop very deep very quickly. So I don't think we want to be conceding first in this one. Because if we do, we may be under the cosh from there because we may not be able to break this defence down. That being said, I'm going to drop it to balanced, so we don't give anything away too silly, so we can keep going well in this game. I am playing Thomas Hill and Kington this game on the flanks, both of our lesser of our wing backs in a sense in a top table of the clash, but you've got to rotate the squad. You can't keep playing the same players, they will get burnt out. We learnt that in our first season in charge of York City. The squads can get burnt out and you can get caught napping because of it. Here's a good bit of move from Port Vale. Now it's out wide to Collins. He finds Hurst in the inside position, but the shot is poor and OJ catches that one easily. Another free kick for Port Vale. A chance for them to have another dig at goal. Kington with a header away. Now it's Perrick. Good tackle by Kington and it's hooked away. Mooney doesn't get there first. Gibbons does. Pressured by 2 players. Gibson keeps hold of possession though, as now it's Crooks. Out wide to Collins. Now it's Perrick to Hurst. Good football from Port Vale. Really putting us under some pressure here. Good football throughout as well. Passing it along the midfield. Here's Horchurch. Out wide to Gibbon as the right hand side. This is very reminiscent to the first Port Vale game we played where the video recording ended a couple of episodes ago. It should have been. Hurst, good block on the cross from Hill and it goes out for a throw-in. It's even Stevens, but they are getting the more shots and more opportunities. They may be shooting from range a little bit more than us. We're trying to shoot from inside the box maybe a little bit too much. So Thomas Hill is having another stinker of a performance, so it may be time to hook him off at half time. Here's Saunders though. Ball down the left hand side to Kington. Inside back to Saunders. Can he make something, the little magician? That's a little ball for Kington, like the idea, but Gibbons cleans it up and hooks away. Here's McGuinness. Coolly back to OJ. Possession is ours again. We'll start from the back. OJ wanders out and then finds Saunders for a nice ball, who instantly flashes it to Hill on his right hand side. Back into McGuinness. That's a poor ball by McGuinness and that's picked off. Now it's a chance for Port Vale to come. Here's Nelson Aho, our player from last season. McGuinness loses the tackle on him. Aho's gone past another. Aho with a cross, headed away by Maloney. Only as far as Gibbons, who plays an interesting little pass but nobody read it. That's another chance gone by for Port Vale. And we were yet again lacklustre down that right hand side, and that is Thomas Hill and McGuinness making a mistake between them. McGuinness has just got to rotate possession there. He's got to come back to this goalkeeper and go down the left hand side where I think we are normally the stronger. Yeah, Thomas Hill has lost possession more than any other player on the team, so there is a key indication that he is not having the best of days and it is time to take him off the pitch. We're bringing on Nathan Dyer and we will have a little chat to say that I'm happy with the performance so far because Port Vale are a very good side in this division and we are away from home in the snow, so there's no need to shout at the boys and rile them up for too much. Just keep them ticking along. I would take a 0-0 draw. That keeps us in the top 3 and doesn't close up this gap to 4th. McGuinness with a header, we will lose out again. Port Vale are very good at creating opportunities against our defence, and we are struggling to break them down because of the way that they drop into such a compact and compressed deep block. That is really stifling our attack. Have a little shout to get creative. The minutes are tumbling. Adam Marrett is also another player who's not having the greatest of games. Only a 6.4. Same for Mooney. Fazza, another one, not having the greatest of games. But here is the chance down the left hand side for Kington. Now it's Saunders. Can he ping a ball? Maybe. Good little dribble by him. Beats one. Gets tackled by the second and Hurst picks it up to find Aho, who beats Mayer and then knocks it past McGuinness. Nelson Aho. Oliver blocks that and Kington mops it up. Moody doesn't win the header. Drops the Crooks. And now Port Vale have possession yet again and they come forward. Here's Hurst. We are back against the walls when it comes to this game. Good block by Nathan Dyer on the cross and that stops that going into the box. Little shout of creativity did work, but we're not exactly sparking anything out of this side. Port Vale have shut us down. And this is the worry. If we go up, can we score goals? Can we find a spark? Can we create anything against a League One opposition? That would be our biggest dilemma, I feel. Defensively, I'm happy with the way we played and I'm happy with the players we have. Going forward, though, is a concern. It may be the tactic. It may be something I have to tweak and play around with, because we are very bad against teams who stifle the midfield and sit in a low block and happy to play on the counter against us. Coming up to the 80th minute now, it may be time for a second sub. It's after this corner. Maloney, chance to get the ball into the box. A set piece would be delightful here. Good ball. Gibbons with a head away. Now it's Dyer. Ball chipped back into the box, but Fazza doesn't get there. Mooney doesn't get there either. Here's Adam Maric. Back to Dyer. Tries to get the cross in, but it's blocked and it's hooked away, and it's Nelson Aho. Nelson Aho up against one. Good block yet again on Nelson Aho. And now it's Anderson. Back to Perrick. Out wide to Hallchurch. Chance to shoot. He doesn't. Now it's Gibbons on his right hand side. Gets into the box, but it's blocked by Kington. And he drags it out for a throw-in. 80th minute mark is upon us, and it is time to make a substitution. I'm going to take Mooney off because he's having one hell of a shocker with only that kind of rating. The only other thing to do is, do we maybe drop a striker off and add an extra body in midfield? We do have Ben on the pitch. We could add a Ben to this team. Add a little bit more... Add some more numbers to the midfield and just try and keep hold of the ball. That may be the option. We may be settling for this result. So Ryan Fazza is going to be coming off. Ben is going to be coming on. I'm trying to get Ben to go into the middle of these two. There we go. Let's swap him over with Saunders. Saunders can go advanced playmaker attack. We'll put Ben on centre mid support on this left hand side, and then we'll drop both of our wing backs to defend mode, as we're trying to lock this down a little bit more. Carl McFarlane can stay as an advanced forward who can press the lines and try and get something out of this team. Here is Ryan Fraser down the left hand side right now before the substitutions are made. Here is Maloney. Dyer, can he deliver a ball? No, it just drops it back to Maloney. Big opportunity to get the ball to Dyer, but he switches out to Kington. Chance to get the ball into the box. Finds Saunders, maybe the better option. Saunders a little ball, falls to Fazza, drops it back out to Kington, in towards Mooney. It's all over the place. We're not shooting, boys. Shoot the ball, Fazza there. You got to smash it towards goal or try to find Mooney or something. It's too negative. It lacks any creativity spark. Here is McFarlane though. Here's Cross's block. He used to be in the box on the only striker on the pitch. Mayer headed to Saunders. We've had a little bit more of the ball in the final 10 minutes of this game. Here is Kington. Good drive down the left hand flank. Tries to get the cross in, but it's blocked. And now Niemi gets it away. Hooked away to Nelson Aho on his right hand side. Up against Kington. Kington trips him, but Aho gets away. He keeps driving forward, the Spanish striker. Now it's Collins. Oh, that's a full volley. He went for the spectacular. It was not a bad effort. And we're going to shout demand more to try and get some concentration out of the lads for this final push. Don't concede from a set piece. Danks to Anderson. Back to Danks. He is a very good player. Now it's Collins. Blocked by Ben. And can he hook the ball forward to McFarlane? A counter-attack is on. It's Saunders. Saunders is away. Down the centre of the pitch. Can he get a chance at goal? He can, but that's a really poor effort. Need him to be a little bit more creative up against the defender there. Poor effort and saved by the goalkeeper. Kington. Wasting time now with the throw-in. I like it, boys. McFarlane. Now Saunders. Into Ben. Back to Saunders. Now a little ball, McFarlane half away. McFarlane shoots, but it's saved by Solberg. Again, a poor effort. McFarlane's left-hand side wasn't great. We have been better since we dropped Ben into that centre mid role. Add a little bit more security in midfield. We've had the ball. Saunders with a free kick in towards the box, but Solberg has been very, very good this game and dominates that and catches the ball. Now he drops it to his feet and plays the ball along the ground as the final whistle blows. It's a 0-0 draw away at Port Vale in the snow in a cold, tricky conditions. You can't be too unhappy with that. The referee gets an 8.8, so well done, ref. You played well. I'm happy with the performance. I'm not like massively happy about it. We weren't great. We were not great going forward, but cannot be too unhappy. I'm going to tell these two boys they were pretty shit. Thomas Hill, you look stressed. Well, you're dropped for next game then, because that was awful. So, yeah, we're going to come back for the final 2 games in January because we can do some January transfer wrap up. I may come back just for, if we do a lot of action, I'll only come back for the Oldham game. So we'll do some catch up and then Oldham. If we don't make too much deals, I'll come back for the Morecambe game as well. Until then, guys, like and subscribe and have a good time. Stay safe. Hope you're enjoying your time inside. I'm enjoying it. I am a natural introvert, so it's great times for me. The only person I want to see is my girlfriend, and I can't, which is the only gutting point, I suppose. And yeah, stay safe, have fun times and all. And as always, guys, peace out.